and welcome to Studio
Set
Stage, a weekly podcast with us, Cynthia Mallard
and Marq, where we take you from the studio to the set to the stage
in the world of entertainment. Hello and welcome back to Studio Set Stage. I'm your host, Cynthia Mallard, along with
Marq.
That's right, the best co-host in the world. Gotta say first, thank you so very much for joining us. Studio Set Stage, still a very, very new podcast.
Yes.
But we are getting some amazing feedback. So thank you so much to all of you who have reached out to us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And again, happy belated Labor Day.
That's right.
To everyone out there.
Right. Hope you got your barbecue and your chicken and all your drinking out the way, because I know I did.
Yes, indeed. What a great weekend and eventful week is that.
What'd you do? What'd you do for Labor Day?
Well, we actually traveled down to Montgomery, Alabama.
That's right. That's right. Studio Set Stage.
Set Stage.
That's right.
Home of my alma mater, your alma mater, Alabama State University, where they had the Labor Day Classic. A lot of festivities
Tuskegee
there.
Against Alabama State University. And as you know, we were victorious, talking about the Hornets, right?
Yes. ASU, shout out to ASU Hornets. They were triumphant in 2018 Labor Day Classic. A win that went into overtime, so it was a good one. Kudos to Tuskegee. My hometown, I was born and bred, but I am a Hornet. Definitely. I grew up in a house divided.
I was going to say, that's a house divided.
Yes.
Like I said, we're so happy that you are here. You're listening to us wherever you are. You're watching us wherever you are. We are on this journey and you are along. So we thank you so very much for that. So It has been an exciting week just kind of in entertainment news, right?
Yes, in entertainment news. Kudos. You see my shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah, it's hot.
The King of Pop, Michael Jackson. He celebrated his birthday. He would have been 60 years old.
King of Pop.
Last August 29th. So happy belated birthday to the King of Pop.
60 years old?
Yes, he would have been 60.
Oh,
yes.
Man.
So happy belated birthday to him. Definitely a legacy. King of Pop Entertainment, one of the largest selling albums in history. Thriller,
right.
So definitely kudos to him and his family. Again, happy birthday. Salute.
Wonderful. Well, you know what? Being that we're talking about Studio Set Stage, and like I said, we really created this podcast, this lifestyle brand, because over 30 years in the business, whether it comes to like music, acting, media, we've done a lot, and we just wanted to just kind of share some of our information, like our experience in helping others possibly to avoid those pitfalls, Those
pitfalls, those snares. Every journey is different, but there is a process. Again, there are no rules, but there is a process. And in this, especially with this podcast, that's our intention, and that's what we intend to do.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, one of the big stories that we wanted to tackle today was as far as on the media and acting side.
Yes.
I know we all this week were like floored. Like all of social media was engulfed about the story involving Jeffrey Owens, the actor. If you guys, do you remember him on the Cosby Show?
Jeffrey Owens, yes.
Yes, he was the husband to.
Yeah, he was the husband to the oldest sibling.
Yes,
and he used to have some really funny encounters that I remember with.
That was awkward.
The mother
that was
Claire.
Kind of awkward.
Yeah, with Claire Huxtable.
I remember that.
Kind of, he straddled the fence on the chauvinistic side, but definitely he was kind of scared because he was like, well, I don't want to rock the boat. But definitely.
Well, if you don't know, Jeffrey Owens was on Good Morning America this week talking to one of my faves, Robin Roberts. And basically the whole situation, if you haven't been keeping up with it, Mr. Owens, Jeffrey Owens, a fellow actor, he has been working at a retail chain. He's been working
at Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. And I think a lot of people were surprised just to hear that. But the way this story came about is the really, I want to say, effed up part. Someone saw him, in the store, running the cash register or stocking the shelves or whatever the hell he was doing. He's an employee of Trader Joe's.
Yes.
And they basically took a picture, put it on social media, and was basically job shaming him. So basically saying, "Oh, you're this big Hollywood star. but you're working at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, and it actually came from, like you said, with that social media and also on Fox News, where they were saying, well, this renowned actor, he's been in several different projects, but he's seen working here at Trader Joe's. And, you know, just the gall to want a job shame, or if that's the term now, you know, basically they're using that to belittle someone when they're actually working. They're doing something that is not, you know, it should be commended. That he has a job.
Exactly.
You know,
he's
a legitimate job.
He's a man.
And he's providing for his family.
Exactly.
So that kind of irritated me.
Yeah.
It irritated me a lot.
I think that sometimes, especially us being in the business a lot.
Yes. Yes.
I think sometimes we look at this profession, we put people on a pedestal. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because I think a lot of times, like we think about our superstars, you know, Denzel Washington, we say Viola Davis, maybe it's the comedian Mike Epps, whatever. And I guess we put them on such a high pedestal that we forget that they are real people.
They're real people.
These are human beings who have children, they have husbands, they have wives, and they've got to make ends meet too.
They have to provide
a
living. They have to support their families. And just like with anything else, I mean, it is a job, but definitely you shouldn't belittle anyone if they're trying to fundamentally provide for their family and do it legitimately and create opportunities out of that. Not saying that that's the wherewithal, but like Jeffrey Owens, he mentioned even in that interview, he was saying that if anything out of this, we should get and gain a different perspective on the importance of work.
I think his exact quote was, every job is valuable.
Yes,
like there's value in every job or whatever, because it's a means to an end. Like he's actually working at Trader Joe's. I think he's been there for almost 2 years or something like that.
Yes.
So he's been making a great living. And what he told Robin Roberts was that he's fine. Like he literally was like, I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me. He was like, I'm happy. He says, this is what I do between my acting jobs. And what was so interesting is that, you know, we talk about this notoriety. Of course, it's all over social media and stuff like that.
Yes.
It was so interesting to hear him say that I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me, but also I don't want anyone to give me anything. I don't want anybody to give me a role, feel sorry for me, give me a role. He was like,
just out of pity.
Exactly.
Right.
Out of pity. He wants to actually earn those roles.
Yes.
So,
and that's because he understands the craft. You know, in this thing, you have to audition. You know, nothing is given. And that's one thing that we reiterate time and time again is that, you know, if you take care of your craft will take care of you. But you have to understand that and have that kind of respect. Therefore, you will attract those things that you're going for.
You know what? It's interesting that you say attract, because that's exactly what this story and kind of what happened. Because I think shortly after, filmmaker Tyler Perry, of all
reached
people,
out.
remember?
Yes, he did.
He tweeted, you know, I think he was talking about the new season of Have and Have Nots is kicking off, and I think he was like, join us. And to me, that kind of said to me, oh, he's already inked a deal with Jeffrey Owens, probably to be on the show or in some other project.
Well, not only that, you know, with this platform, with social media, everything is integrated. So now, you know, even with that, even the intention of posting him working at Trader Joe's, as their intention was to do this shaming, saying
do harm to him.
He's not doing anything. It actually elevated
his
visibility.
Lifted him. Oh my gosh! You better say that. You better say it.
So you know, it caught the attention of a Tyler Perry,
Will Packer,
of Will Packer, and several other producers in the industry that are looking for filling roles that Jeffrey could easily get into.
What's interesting is that Viola Davis actually, I think on her Instagram account, she said, you know, I've worked with Jeffrey Owens. She said, what a wonderful actor. Okay. The #1 woman in the game reached out. Social media says he is a wonderful actor.
Yes.
She said, I have worked with him. Okay. And then she said, less than 1% in our industry makes $50,000 or makes over $50,000. So that lets you know there's so many of us, and a lot of us don't even pass the threshold as far as income over $50,000.
Right, and that's the illusion. You know, in this thing, it's an end result.
Right.
So, you know, what a lot of people see is the end result of, say, a production that might have been years in the making or years in producing and all of that. So this is an end result thing. So, you know, with the superficiality that you have to go through to gain all of that stuff and maneuver through, you know, Jeffrey, kudos to him, Mr. Owens. He definitely gained my respect, and I salute him for bringing that to the surface, and hopefully that will resonate with everybody and know that, look, you know, you can't always depend on the okie doke.
Well, you know what? I'll even go further. It's okay, especially for everyone who's watching and listening to us. It's okay to work at the McDonald's. It's okay if you got to deliver the garbage, if you got to pick up the mail. Those jobs help to build you. They help to build you, and they help you to get from one side of the bridge to the other side of the bridge. That's what's most important. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's not going to come out the womb and walk onto a set with, say, a Viola Davis or a Kerry Washington. But those little jobs, they help to build you. They help to get you. They help to discipline you once you get there and you are on set, so that you can walk up on an Oscar stage and say, thank you for this award.
Yes.
Hello?
And it's about the journey.
It is.
You know, and those things help build you, character. You know, working in warehouses such as I have, stacking pallets and doing all of this, that, and the third. But in order to provide, or say, well, hey, I can take what I've earned at this job and invest it in myself. And invested in what I'm trying to do. Invested in maybe me having a home-based studio, which was my goal, my intention. And so I did that. Even though I worked this job that, oh man, I'm working midnight shift, graveyard shift, and different things, but I had my goal in mind. And I always kept that at the forefront.
You do what you have to do.
So you have to do that.
You do what you have to do to get to where you want to get to.
You definitely have to do.
It's always sacrifice, you know, for all of us studio set stagers. So like I said, again, kudos to Jeffrey Owens, and we look forward to seeing him in somebody's upcoming production.
Definitely.
We kind of already know. We've kind of got the inside scoop, but I really can't say anything right now. So we just don't want to. We don't want to put that out. You know, put the let the cat out the bag. Is that what it's saying?
Yes, indeed. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And you know, we'll drop hints every now and then. So, but moving on. So, what did you think about the whole uproar with Colin Kaepernick?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I would
new
say
Nike
that
campaign. He's a face.
Great.
30th anniversary Nike campaign.
Some people say is timing, whatever, but kudos to Kaepernick for standing his ground. Again, we've heard some stories where even with the NFL, they have evaluated, you know, some of the judgments and I guess initially the claims that were made, and so they're going to revisit those things. But kudos to Nike too for stepping up to the plate and giving him a larger platform to voice these things, and hopefully it will resonate. And you know, of course, we've gotten feedback, bad feedback, good feedback, however what feedback you want, where people that have been opposed to him. You
mean the racists?
Yes.
Okay, the racists who are burning their jerseys and burning their shoes and you know, basically saying that how could Nike, you know, support someone like this who disrespects America.
And they're burning shoes and equipment and things that if they want to do good in the spirit of, you know, they're talking about, well, you know, we're supposed to take care of this country and different things. Well, if you're going to do that in that spirit, why don't you donate that stuff before you burn it to the less fortunate, those that need it? Maybe veterans that might need, you know, those shoes or those clothes. You want to burn it. So
dumber than dumb. Can you say dumb ass all the way?
Yes, how appropriate.
appropriate but
term.
I just want to
Yes.
say my hat's off to Nike. I mean, it takes courage, and I think that's kind of what you were trying to say at the time. It takes courage. It takes bravery to step out there. Now, look, don't get it twisted. And when we know this, we black folks, so we know. Kaepernick, of course, is benefiting from this partnership, but we also know that Nike's going to benefit also. I mean, yes, it's a political statement. I feel like it's a social statement, but I also know that Nike, I think, what's the stats? Nike social media dollar made $43 million or something like that was the figure once they announced the campaign.
Well, yeah, and when you look at it too, there's been other sides of it because you can look at it from a 360 view, from a financial point of view. Just this past March, Nike had inked a deal or solidified a deal with the NFL to provide a lot of shoes and all of that.
Right.
But in reference to that, when you look at Nike and just that whole competitive, as far as dollar to lock down the number one spot, Nike has been getting their behinds kicked by Adidas, of course, with Kanye West, the Yeezys, which everybody knows about.
But
outsold.
But I will say
the Air Jordans.
I
which
get that,
was
but I will
in place,
say that Nike has an amazing marketing team because
you
gotta think about
the
slogans they had surrounding. This was like last week too. They launched the one with Serena.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Our favorite tennis heart.
Yeah.
It's like, remember she got banned. Like they told her she couldn't wear the black bodysuit anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember.
And the slogan that Nike launched like a couple of weeks ago was like, you can take the superhero out of the costume, but you can't take away her superpowers. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
I was thoroughly impressed with Nike when I saw that promotion.
Yeah, you can't knock the hustle.
No, you can't. You can't.
Because in it, and of course the board, in anything, whatever it took to make it or create it, you're gonna have to double down, triple down, quadruple down when it comes to marketing and promoting it. Without marketing and promotion, you might have the greatest product in the world, but it won't gain any traction if you don't know how to properly put it out there. So, with Nike, I think that, of course it was strategic.
Yeah.
If you look at it.
They're going to make some money.
But based on, what this young man, Kaepernick, has been through, even amidst of sacrificing his contract, even to play
his
football,
livelihood. He sacrificed it all.
He stood on the moral ground.
That's why I stand behind him.
And so
he gave it up because how many other players?
If they're going to do that,
we've talked about this specifically. Most of the players out there look like us. They're African American.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
And
most times they're coming from communities that are not silver spoon communities, right?
Oh, yeah,
so
definitely.
Football is the ticket. Football or sports is the ticket out of their neighborhood. So once they get it, they're not easily going to give that up. They don't care if it's for their brother, if it's for their sister. They have worked their butts off to get there to be able to buy a house for their mama or their grandma or Nene and them.
Yes, and through that, they have sacrificed, to put the time in because.
So once you get there, you like, what? What protest? What you mean? What, just walk off the field and give up $50 million contract?
Right, but on the flip side, I'm gonna flip it.
Yeah.
Though, nothing is going to be given. A lot of times, and if history has a way, there's nothing new under the sun. Just this past weekend, we were in Montgomery, Alabama, birthplace of the Civil Rights Movement, where the Montgomery bus boycott kicked it off with Dr. King. And the only way they were able to get the attention of the people that was, being racist and doing all of these, degraded, dehumanizing things, they said, well, the only way we're going to get their attention is to hit them in the pockets.
That's right.
Hit them in the pocketbook.
Yeah.
So they boycotted
Sure.
that bus system, and the bus system lost money.
Shut down.
They shut it down.
Yeah.
And they weren't worried about time. Well, say, okay, well, we'll walk.
Yes.
We'll walk for over 300 and close to 390 days.
But your point is a united front.
It has to be united, and it has to be a goal.
Yeah.
You know, united we stand, divided we fall. And that's the whole concept. And being that when you look at the ratio of players, you know, that are of our color and that have brought in, even though they got $1 million contracts, they generate billions and billions of dollars for their teams.
Right.
So I think that's something that we can extract from that, from those things in terms of protesting, knowing how to do it.
Now,
sometimes
somebody,
it's not the what, it's the how.
But then now somebody needs to take that, what we were just talking about here on Studio Set Stage, and take it to the ball players. But you know what? Like I said, I think they know it, but it's just that you've got these men who are coming from these communities where they are the breadwinners. You know what I'm saying?
And
so
you know,
they're
you
trying to
see
take
that.
care. They're trying to take care of everybody.
Right.
So if they go down or they don't have that contract anymore, then all the money and everything is cut off in their community. And most times the people in their community, we know we got Nene and them at the house.
Oh yeah,
or in the different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They don't understand that.
They don't understand, but like I said, sometimes it's not so much what.
Right.
I think when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
So you got to understand your history, but you got to understand what the initial problem is and then tackle it and know how to do it properly.
We have to also recognize your power. I think that
exactly.
the key word
That's all I'm
is
saying.
your power. It's power. So well, it's so interesting. Basically, after the campaign came out, after the Nike deal with Cap, it's so interesting that the NFL came right behind that and wanted to issue kind of like an olive branch to Cap, saying they want to open the dialogue with Cap and handling the other players in the NFL. Let's open it up. Let's have a dialogue now. After they slammed the door in his face for kneeling.
Well, you know, like the old folks used to say, you
crazy.
take that with a grain of salt. And I believe that Kaepernick and I think his team, I think he surrounded himself by
smart people, very smart people
that kind of understand that. So not to,
because the NFL would not have issued that.
Yeah.
Had Nike, the people at Nike had thrown away their prejudiceness and extended the campaign. Like NFL would have never opened the door.
Well, you know, that's something that I feel as a people, you know, we've been dealing with that, man.
What, racism?
8-9 generations in.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, that's something that's to be expected. But like you said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
I think that's part of the slogan, right? The Nike slogan too, if I'm not mistaken. But just do it.
Just do it.
So, do you think that he should respond? I'm just wondering.
I feel that he should respond, but I'm waiting to see how he responds.
You know what? Honestly, he should ignore them. He should ignore them.
I would respond
and go straight to the players.
Well, this is the deal.
That's in a perfect way.
I would respond, but again, understanding the position that he's in right now.
Yeah.
How he responds.
Yeah.
Now, again, like you said, you know, sometimes the loudest statement is not saying anything at all. Yeah. However, I feel like he needs to respond because he's representing a large portion of people.
Oh, he's representing all of us who are upset. Right. And like you said, who cannot speak. And all of us, those of us who have died, who have sacrificed our life just because of the color of our skin.
Yes.
We've been lynched. We've been shot. All these different things that have happened to us. You know what I'm saying? We was thinking about like Montgomery. We were talking about, we went to the Memorial for Peace and Justice, you know, which remembers those victims who were lynched, you know, throughout America. You know what I'm saying? Kaepernick stands for standing up. Right. We will not take this anymore. We will not take how you are treating our people. We built America. Yeah. We built America. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to hear that.
Well,
in 2018, we, people of color, built America.
Yes, and
on our backs.
Right, and we weren't, like indentured servants or anything.
No, kidnapped, brought over. Right, exactly.
And so, and then too, a lot of us have to understand because we've gotten our history in fragments, so we have to do diligence and make sure that we know.
Yeah.
So, because like you said, if you don't know, how do you know what you stand on, the foundation that you stand on, the shoulders, and the strength and the power that you possess, and knowing how to harness that and utilize it to elevate
each other, everyone around us. Yeah.
So we have to do that.
Yeah.
And so I mean, kudos again to Kaepernick for getting himself in the position to where from here those things can probably be initiated and some other things can definitely be like, okay, wait a minute. Let's take a look at that.
He's changed the whole culture of the NFL and the world just by kneeling during the national anthem. So if I ever get the opportunity to meet him, I would just hug him so tight, because he's done much more for the movement of Black people and making these racist people understand what this means to us as a people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, really, in the year of 2018,
And to understand that, honestly, those that are the most racist, they're getting the most hits as well. So maybe that can be a wake-up call, because, understanding, well, hey, what matters is not money. Money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen.
It's true.
And those that are perpetuating those old, tired, racist mentality are not only trying to keep the Black man down or the brown man, but they're actually keeping themselves down.
So,
as well.
I would say now, and this is Studio Set Stage. I'm your host, Cynthia Mallard, along with Marq Dean. Listen, we are upon an election. It is coming up. This is the time for you to get out and vote. Yes, we're talking entertainment, but you have to understand that politics rules everything, and that's something that we both have learned.
Yes,
over the
years. Definitely. Again, being back in Montgomery, understanding that where maybe you look at 3 major civil rights legislations that was passed that garnered that was the Civil Rights Movement, the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, Fair Housing Act, okay? But the Voting Rights Act, people fought and died for the right to vote. Rights and privileges that we take for granted. And a lot of us, like I said, we don't know our history. So we don't think about, this is election, okay, how does that affect me? But it affects everybody.
Everything.
So, again, get out and vote.
Get out and vote.
Get out and vote. Register to vote. If you haven't voted, now's the chance to get exposed to that and vote.
All right. Well, guys, so happy that you guys are still on with us. This is Studio Set Stage. I'm your host, Cynthia Mallard, and that is Marq Dean.
Marq Dean.
That's right.
And again, subscribe
That's right.
to our YouTube page. Go online. Visit us on IG, Twitter, Facebook at Studio Set Stage. This has been a Studio Set Stage podcast production, copyright 2018, all rights reserved.